to see you here again. My name is Luc de Ceuster, founder of the Ceuster Academy, and in this video I'm going to talk about present value of a single cash flow. So we will have a cash flow in the future and we want to know what is the value of that cash flow today. Before we start, do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you didn't do that yet, or if you're watching this video or this channel for the first time. Click on the bell button so that every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. Now, when we look at the present value of a single cash flow, and we're in fact going to apply the principles of interest, compound interest, future value to find the present value. Now, what we did in the previous video, we calculated the future value of an amount, $100, after a certain period. And when we look at that, we said, okay, the future value is equal to the present value multiplied by 1 plus the interest rate to the power n, n being the number of periods. So when we look at that formula, we have there the interest rate, the present value, which is the amount we invest today, and using that formula, I could say that the future value of that $100 was equal to 100 multiplied with 1 plus 5 divided by 100 to the power 10, which gives us an amount of approximately $162.89. Basically what we did, we considered the value of $100 today and we calculated its value after 10 years. But that also means that when we look at the value of $162.89, the value of that, or the amount in 10 years, the cash flow we would receive in 10 years, it would also mean that the value of that cash flow today would only be $100. And that's the idea about present value. We want to look at cash flows, money we receive in the future, one or more amounts over 1 or more years, and we want to know what is the value of that today. Now, when we look at the formula, we found that the future value is equal to the present value multiplied with 1 plus the percentage to the power n. And when we divide both sides by 1 plus the percentage to the power n, we find in fact a new expression which gives us the present value as a function of the future value. And now we can say that the present value is equal to the future value divided by 1 plus the interest rate to the power n. And we can adjust this also because we can say that the present value is equal to the future value multiplied with 1 plus the interest rate to the power negative n. Now basically when we look at this, we can in fact calculate the present value of any cash flow in the future. We only have to know when did we get that cash flow, and the second thing is what is the interest rate or the discount rate. We call this also discounting of the cash flows. Let's have a look at a simple example and let's go back to the example we did before. We have a future value of $162.89. We have an interest rate of 5% and we consider that we received this amount or will receive it in 10 years. So what will be the present value of this? Now when we look at the discount factor, and the discount factor is 1 plus the interest divided by 100 to the power minus n, minus 10 in this case, we will see that the discount factor is 0.6139. In order to calculate the present value of $162.89, we have to multiply this with the discount factor. And when we do that, we find again the original $100. So on $100 today will be worth $162.89 in 10 years, but when we receive $162.89 in 10 years, the value of it today will be only $100. And that will be looking into different financial analysis. Another example, now we have a future value of $100. The interest rate or the discount rate is 7%, and we receive that in 15 years, for example. Now what we can do here, we can say that the present value is now equal to the $100 multiplied with 1 plus 7 divided by 100, 7%, to the power minus 15, and we find that the result here is $36.24. So basically the discount factor is 0.3624. And these are the calculations that we're going to do, and that's basically the important thing about the present and the future value. Now we can also calculate the present value using the formulas that we have in Excel, and here we have the formula, the present value with coefficients, the rate, the interest rate that we have, the number of periods that we consider. PMT are the periodic payments that we do in case we have periodic payments. PV is the present value in case we have a present value. It's not a mandatory field, but in our case it will be the only field that we will complete, and we consider these amounts at the end or the start of the period. So basically here we'll consider that we receive the money at the end of the period. When we apply it on this exercise, we see that the PV can be calculated using the formula. The rate will be 17%, the numbers of periods will be 15, PMT, the periodic cash flows, will be equal to 0, and the present value, sorry, the future value in this case, has to be minus $100. And the type, we have 1 or 0, in this case we have 1, and we find 36.24. So basically that's how we calculate the present value of the different cash flows. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about in this presentation, because basically it's the start for more complex calculations. Understanding present value, future value, simple interest, compound interest. These are very important basic concepts when you want to start doing financial evaluations. That was it for this video, but before you leave, do not forget to click the subscribe button, click on the bell button, so every time we post a new video, YouTube will inform you. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.